crackheads, geeks, sluts, bloods, wastoids, dweebies, dickheads. They all adore him. They think he's a righteous dude.
It's good to be the king.
Just looking around here, I can tell you're a genuinely dirty person.
That was really cool, by the way.
All right. Stop right there, and I'll bring back the sun.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my underground lair.
I am a HAL 9000 computer.
Well, it's a well-known fact, Sonny Jim, that there's a secret society of the 5 wealthiest people in the world known as the Pentaveret, who run everything in the world, including the newspapers, and meet tri-annually at a secret country mansion in Colorado known as the Meadows.
So who's in this Pentaveret?
The Queen, the Vatican, the Gettys, the Rothschilds, and Colonel Sanders before he went tits up.
It's not Irish. It's not English.
Oh, yeah. Fair, what is the kindest for the horses, you know?
It's just, well, it's just pikey.
Did you have shade?
Hail to the king, baby.
I'm your huckleberry. I'm your huckleberry. I'm your huckleberry.
Groovy.
I'm dead sexy.
Leon's getting larger.
Very puffy and very staticky. I just brushed it really quick before I came on air. That's a mistake. Now it's gonna be sticking to my face the whole time I'm doing the show, isn't it? Yeah. Well, it is a morning show, so it's more relaxed. You know what I mean? I don't have to throw some mousse in my hair and live that way. I don't have to. Not this early. Not on, you know. Now I know some of you are like, it's not early. It's noon where I am. It's midnight. I'm watching this at 2 o'clock in the morning in Europe. I get it. But just empathize that relatively busy weekend. Went and saw Todd Dammit Kearns and I guess in some ways the remnant players and the ancillaries from the Sin City Sinners, which is his band that he's been playing in Vegas for a while. And for those of you that don't know, a little walk down memory lane. Let's see. I'll bring up some stuff and show you. Yeah, here you go. So I don't want to show you that first. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, there. So when I moved to Canada to do Queer as Folk, there was a, where we go? Here, let me find some images I can show you guys. I basically was borderline abducted by the production, and any actor who has to, uproot and move somewhere for a show, knows that that's just what you do. It's just part of the gig. And the curious difference in Queer as Folk was I didn't know until after we'd already done the testing for it in front of the network and gone through all of the contracting and everything for it. I didn't know until about a week before I was set to start filming that it was filming in Canada and I was going to have to move. I had an apartment I'd had for about a year because I got it as soon as I got Talk Soup. So I moved into that apartment so that I'd be closer to work because LA commutes are terrible. And I was going to be there from 7 to 7 every single day, which I basically was, and drove everyone crazy. And so it was a pretty cool place. It was it's on Crescent Heights near Fountain, south of Sunset Boulevard, walking distance to what used to be the Coconut Teaser, the Lemley Sunset 5, which is the art theater, which is really cool. So that was a selling point. The Body Shop was another block away, also not a problem. And then the Laugh Factory was the other direction. So talk about a Sophie's choice for me. Let's see. Go do a set at the Laugh Factory strip club. But it's like damn it. All right, I'll be a professional tonight. So yeah, the Coconut Sleazer, that thing. All right, so it was a big switchover in my life. My friends had to move me out of my apartment because I had not made arrangements to move out because I did not know that this was happening. Why would I? Why would my agents bother to tell me this in any way? So so I went, I moved up to Canada and I didn't know anybody in the cast. I'd never met anyone involved in the show before except in the audition process. And I remember sitting we had a dinner at the beginning of Queer as Folk where, we all went to this Italian restaurant and it was like a 7-course meal where we were there for hours. And it was, production people, Sheila Hawken, who was our producer there in Canada, and then the exec producers and a couple of people from Jerry Offsay from Showtime was there. I kept poking him about Penn and Teller's bullshit, and he didn't seem to like it. I was amazed that I wasn't fired that day. And if the show had been easier to cast, perhaps I would have. But while we were sitting there, everybody's chatting and kind of getting to know each other. And, there are jokes about pot and alcohol, like what wine is best with what. And, of course, what weed is great with what, as part of a normal conversation, as you would. And I was like, yeah, well, all right, guess I'm not hanging with any of these folks. I'm going to, they'll be mad at me for yucking their yum all the time. And so I was very aware that I was going to have to, if I was going to have any friends on this show, they were going to be locals and I was going to have to make them when I got up there. So I took it on the heel and toe and hoofed it around basically the Queen and Bathurst area and, college and, went over to the mall and just walked like crazy up and down Yonge Street and found basically all the rock venues in town and then just found my way to them and rented a car the whole time I was up there. It was on a weird semi-permanent lease, but really a rental while I was up there. And so I was able to drive myself wherever I wanted to go. I was one of the few people in the cast that had a car the first 2 years. And so because I'm being on the road as a comic. I always get a car. If I'm in a, there are rare occasions when I'm touring that if I'm in town, I don't rent a car just so I can get my own groceries and feed myself and be independent, because that's one of the things that I think drives comics crazy a lot of times, is being latched to their room and having to ask the club for rides to places if they need to go get stuff. So this is all behind the scenes. It's maybe boring, but it's kind of crucial to the backstory of this. So I recognized that I was going to just need a life. I was going to need, some place to go, interests that I could. So I went and signed up for classes at the Hong Kong Kung Fu Club on Dundas in Toronto. I went and took classes with Vladimir Vasilyev, the Russian Spetsnaz dude who teaches Sistema, the Russian martial arts. I think I still have, look, hold on. I still have my sticker. Here, look. This is a newer one. I think this is from, still got my Russian Sistema sticker. It's up on my billboard, my bullet board, I forget. I found it in some stuff the other day. Along with, by the way, my first t-shirt from my first martial art that I studied, Kenpo, when I was a kid in Kentucky. And I was telling my girlfriend about the backstory of our teacher and sort of the overlapping aspect of like the sort of conflicts of Christianity and Buddhism in Kentucky at the time. Anyways, found the t-shirt from it that I've had since I was 9 years old. I think I got this one when I was 9. I'd been in a year. Anyways, so I go up there and I immediately, Much Music, which was their MTV, was just, was walking distance to my apartment. And so I would walk by there, and there was a huge record store right across the street from it, of course. So I went in and just bought up all the Canadian rock that I could find, local stuff, for something to listen to. I'd been watching Much Music, and I saw a few things, and I was like, all right, this is pretty cool, and I'll go see live shows. And so one of the albums I discovered was this one. Whoops. Oh, you quit it. I hate when it does that. Damn it. The thing, it always wants to unplug itself. So aggravating. I don't know why it needs to be restarted like that all the time. It's a new thing, too. It just started doing it. Ugh. The thing. The suffering. Anyway, so this is it. So here we go. This was the album cover. Static and Stereo was the band. And there was a song called Before My Time that was on that record. It was a single at the time, which I friggin' love to this day. The whole album is awesome. It's one of the most fluid. Yeah, I've been a Rush fan. Loved Y&T. Loved Triumph. I mean, I've been a Canadian rock fan for a while, but insofar as like all the bands inside, I didn't know anything about them necessarily, right? So Todd had this band with his brother called Static and Stereo. And they had this song. That's what Todd looks like right now, with big long hair. And right now he's in Slash's band, and he plays bass for Slash. And dude sings like a bird. It's annoying. It's annoying. And it like he's just super talented and a really good guy, as Canadians often are. And so when I discovered this, I was telling people, in the fan groups, like, and hi, Sarah, if you're out there watching, who were Canadian and were like, oh yeah, that's Todd Kearns. He was in a band called Age of Electric for a long time. And they were like, I wouldn't call them like grunge, but they were definitely grunge era in terms of that. And they were a little more in the range of like Blind Melon. It was a little more like feel good grunge, if that makes sense. Yeah, The Conspirators, right. And so I went back and got all of their records. Like I bought the entire catalog of CDs of Todd's stuff and just, really appreciated the songwriting, the work, all that kind of stuff. Great stuff, super good. And then years later, oddly enough, find myself, especially because of lockdown and summer being here, find myself in Vegas, and Todd has moved here and has set up shop and has this band in Vegas, the Sin City Sinners, that he's been playing in for a long time, in between touring gigs with his with Slash and his Canadian band Toque, named after what Canadians call a sock cap or a stocking cap, a toque, which is way better, by the way. America, we need to, the United States needs to officially adopt toque for the name of a stocking cap or a sock cap, because there's too many like stockings. It's stupid. Just say it. Just call it a toque, for God's sake. Yeah. So he's got a band called Toque, and he's just a lot of fun, a good soul, really great to hang out with, one of the nicest people ever, and just so goddamn talented. And then everybody they hang out with is just talented and glad to be playing music. So if you ever get a chance and they're ever nearby, and even if Slash comes and you don't lean Slash Miles Kennedy's way, the whole show is worth seeing just because Todd Kearns is in the building. There, I've said it. And that's that. So we went and saw that show, and that's the same day I bought all of, that's the same day when I got the Static and Stereo record when I was up there, when I got, let's see, my first Danko Jones record. And again, Danko Jones is one of these dudes who's just absolutely rocks live, great show, and is one of the coolest, nicest, kindest, smartest dudes I've met, and I can't say enough good things about him. Canadians, we love you. Canadian rockers, we love you. Just like good souls to the one. Just saying it. And anyways, so I mean and so now there's this weird like overlap between my world and the world of let's see, hold on. Is it in here? No, it's in here. Somebody, let's see. I'm sure this is yeah. There you go. So somebody was saying we went to the show, and I posted that I went to the show. That's a picture I took. There's Todd and everybody at the show. And somebody said, missed you in the crowd. And that's why I replied, probably because my girl and I were one of 5 people in the place wearing masks. So nobody knew it was us. But if you'll notice, I am wearing my Danko Jones shirt to a Todd Dammit Kearns show. And yes, we are a cute couple, the Heather. Yes, we are. So, like, just the general nature. So it was a good weekend in that regard. Yes, and Canada does rock. And they did Keep on Rockin' in the Free World. That was interesting. And if you ever want to see a great version of Keep on Rockin' in the Free World, look up 01, and probably have to put my name in there, Hal Sparks, Keep on Rockin' in the Free World. I'm pretty proud of that. And it's my buddy Rob Hall and I playing together at one of the best times, one of the best memories, because Rob is no longer with us. And so to have that video of that song on that stage, us playing together, is pretty great. So yeah. So shall we jump into the trends today and like see what's up, because it's pretty awful. There's a lot of awful. We're gonna skip most of the awful today, just because I'll talk some about the awful later on this afternoon. But happy birthday, Scarlett Johansson, who indeed, in my estimation, plays the is in fact the bravest Avenger. Black Widow is the bravest Avenger. I'm just going to say that flat out, because everybody pairs her with Hawkeye as if they're both the Humies on it. They don't have any special powers or anything. It's just bullshit. Hawkeye is a mutant. He's just got a mild mutant. It is on YouTube. Yes, that song is on YouTube. Yes. So I have always been under the impression that that Black Widow is, in fact, the bravest. She has no superpowers. She only has a special suit in one of the movies. She's got her like shock collar bracelet and a couple other weapons, but she's not immune. If she gets shot, she's down. And one of the best, like, scariest moments and kind of the most, one of the quality acting moments that occurs in the Avengers movies is in Civil War. No, Winter Soldier, where she's running from him and she's trying to get people away and she gets shot, and there's a really, like, rough, like, moment where she realizes she's been hit and she's scared and she's human, right? And I've always loved the Black Widow character for that very reason. It's the same reason why, like, Captain America is like the purest Avenger in a lot of ways, because he threw himself on the grenade, and that was the deciding factor in making him the super soldier. They didn't give it to the bullies or the stronger people. They gave it to the weak guy who would sacrifice everything for everyone else. And so everything that's great about him comes out of what's great about him, that kind of thing. And so, and then the ending in, in Endgame of, Black Widow in that regard is just, I can't watch it. Like, it's the part I have to fast forward past because I get all weepy because it's so well done. And hats off to Jeremy Renner for teeing up that performance, because your scene partner is incredibly crucial in moments like that. And I will also say, while I'm on the what makes a good actor, what makes a great actor, what makes a bad actor stint, is that anybody can do a great performance in a Meryl Streep movie. Sorry. Everybody protects you. It's the environment around you, the everybody's silent on set. There's, they try to make the crew and everything as invisible as possible. But if you're wearing half a rubber suit while hanging on a wire and everything around you is green, and you can muster up a great performance, while people around you are going bang, like, that's the work. That's the work. It is fiction, Yes. That's why it's beautiful. Songs are fiction too, but their power to make you weep should be lauded. Their power to give you joy should be lauded. Yeah. So, I want to see Shang-Chi because representation matters. Well, then watch Crazy Rich Asians and Yin Xiong, which is a Jet Li movie, Hero, because that's what it's those two movies fused together. In my estimation, it was good, but that's what it is. They just basically, like, puzzle pieced two movies together to make it. Is it her birthday? Please be her birthday. Please be okay. Please be her birthday. Please be okay. Yes. Okay, good. Bunch of birthdays today. There's a lot of celebrity birthdays today. It's a strange one. It isn't Clooney's. We'll get to that in a minute. Is Reese Witherspoon's birthday as well? No one should be able to purchase semi-automatic across state lines, kill two people, wound another, and go free. In what world is it safe for any of us? Oh, I see. It's just right wingers, jumping on what she's tweeting. Dear God, the woman has an opinion. We must please all step on it with one big foot. Don't drag on Marvel. I grew up in the world. Not at all. I love it. How do child actors do the green screen? Now that's talent. Actually, kids are easy. It's easier for kids. Adults, watch an old person in a movie with green screen all around them. That takes work. Because kids, even people my age, have grown up in the concept for a long time. But your classic actors from a long time ago, this is a whole new bizarre thing. And by the way, there's going to be a period. Green screen is a fad. Green screen is on its way out. If anything, the Mandalorian has changed how a lot of this shit is going to be filmed, to where they're going to create backgrounds, for actual shooting. Interstellar did it a little bit with giant screens outside the windows, you know, but the Unreal Engine and other things like it are gonna, you know, you're gonna be shooting in front of a background that's set to what you're doing. If you haven't decided late, you know, or you want to add stuff, that's going to be a tough one. But they'll still have the marker points in it, so you'll be able to do it. It's just like green screen's going to go out. I mean, it used to be blue screen, you know, and then they realized that it was anti-blue eyes to do it because there are people with that blue in their eyes, and so it would make it really hard to key. So they switched to that green because nothing in nature is that kind of green. Yeah. It used to be stop motion, yeah. If you don't, Hal, if you don't show us a Katsu, my dog is going to bite me. I don't like how she's looking at me right now. That's funny. All right, hold on. Let me check. Let's see. What do we have? He was just about to pounce on Maddie. He was just about to pounce on her, weren't you? Weren't you? Were you being a bad boy? Yeah. Here, hold on. Go to full screen. Hello. Well, your leg's all crooked. Here, turn around. There you go. Hi. Yeah. Where you going? I know. There you go. Get comfortable. What are you doing? I know. He's like, I was going to jump on Maddie, and then you brought him in, and then you came and abducted me. I'm going to go do it. Okay, go ahead. Go do it. There you go. And he's like forgotten about it. And now he's just going to bat a, he's got a cable tie, and he's knocking it around, which is, I mean, honestly, one of the, he's growing like crazy. One of his favorite toys is just like if I just take a cable tie or a hairband, he's a big fan of those. Chip thinks he needs his own YouTube channel. He totally does. Thanks for the super chat. Do you watch Doctor Who? I'm going to Chicago TARDIS this weekend. That's amazing. I do. I will always forever be a Tom Baker fan, and I'm mentioned in the reboot when let me see if I can find the actual episodes. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, Doctor Who episode guide. Now I'm going to have to look that up. Oops. That was weird. What was the season 3, 5, 6, I think it was 11. Let's see. Now it's going to be, yeah. So season, let's see. I think it's episode 12, Bad Wolf. Yeah. I'm the inventor of hyperdrive of season 1. Let's see. Yeah. I have to look back through it because for Eccleston's run on it. So yeah, I think it'd be a fantastic Doctor. Thanks for bringing it up. No, they aren't kinky. They are not. Yeah, I think it's that episode. I'd have to look through it or whatever, because it's just a part where they're at the edge of the universe, watching the end of the end of the world, or the end of all life. It's basically a ripoff of Life, the Universe, and Everything. The restaurant at the end of the universe, in the Douglas Adams things. But they introduce people as they come in, and they introduce the creators of the hyperdrive, and one of them is there are two people. One of them's named Hal Sparks. It's an alien, which is a good alien name, I think. Let's see. Yeah. What are you doing, Chip? Are you getting in a box? What are you doing? Are you getting in the box? Here, get in the box. I'm gonna knock the box over. I was like, what is happening? What is the boy doing? Copyright? No. I think it was just a tip of the hat. Oh, nice. Thank you, new patrons. Patreon.com/HalSparks. Please. It's the holidays. You want to get me something for the holidays? Become an annual Patreon. That's really easy. That's, at any level you think is appropriate to whatever joy I have brought to you, or or pain I have taken away. Let's see. Yes, it was Chip. If that's the case, how can we forward money to Chip? Thank you, Sishu. Appreciate that. Believe me, a lot of what comes my way goes to feeding that boy. He eats 3 times a day right now. It's insane. And then he comes up in the morning and he'll nut stomp you if you don't get out of bed. Oh, look at this. See, and we just talked about this. Can I just say, this just happened on Twitter. Can I just say, so I tweeted this morning that, if you'll see, it's like, I tweeted, and yes, I wore my Danko Jones shirt to a Todd Dammit Kern show because Canada rocks, right? So I wrote that or whatever. And Danko jumped in, and then Todd jumped in, and then they're having a little bro fest talking about jamming together in my feed. I mean, look at this. It's a good thing. 2 good guys who play great music, who are decent and good human beings, who are a lot of fun to be around, are chit-chatting in below one of my tweets, back and forth about jamming together. This is a good thing. This is, 12-year-old, Kentucky Hal is very excited at this idea. Just saying. It's kind of a nice thing. Oh, speaking of young Hal, so check this out. I was telling Summer about this, that this is my t-shirt from my first karate style that I took, Kiang Jiteru Kenpo. And he didn't have any shirts that would fit me. This thing was like a dress. So it still fits me now. I can wear it now. You're welcome. And occasionally I do, but it's so old I don't want to wear it out. I mean, you can see through the goddamn thing. Look at that. You can see the lights. You see that? You can literally see the lights through that shirt. That's how old this is. This is a straight up 70s t-shirt, man. And see, he put that big, look at that big white cross. So he taught, my karate instructor went to our church, and I was getting beat up because I was tiny. So my mom got me in karate classes because I wanted them, and I wanted basically, because there was no anti-bullying campaigns when I was in school. The anti-bullying campaigns were internal. And so I signed up for the only anti-bullying campaign that existed, which was karate classes. And I, that's my first black belt. I love Kenpo. There's a lot of overlap between that and Sansu, which is the art I taught. And between the two of them, I think, well, Ed Parker's Kenpo, which is what that's sort of an offshoot of, which is in Hawaii, which was apparently, and this is the legend, that Jimmy Woo, who brought Sansu over the United States, had his studio in Hawaii right next to Ed Parker's Kenpo studio, and so they kind of traded techniques. So these two arts that I would like sort of be drawn to at different points in my life had a lot of like personal overlap that is oddly coincidental or not. Whatever. Anyways, still love the art. The only there's a movie they tried to make about specifically this style of Kenpo called The Perfect Weapon with Jeff Speakman. They only made one movie. Mako is in it, who I love. I don't know if you know the Japanese actor Mako. He passed not too long ago. He was in Conan. He was in The Big Brawl, Jackie Chan. He's been around for a long time. Just a fantastic actor. My buddy Brooks and I always used to take a line of his from The Big Brawl when we were working out, and we'd screw up a form, because Mako went, "Sometimes you make me tremble with disgust," and so we would, or if because we have like codes, we have code movie lines between me and my friends. I don't know if anybody does this, but we have code movie lines, and when something would go in exceedingly well in an interpersonal social experiment out in public or something, you know, you'd make a pass and it was successful, or you like got a phone number or something. One of the lines was, "I'm a wizard, mind you," which is from Conan. So yes. Anyways, so I love Mako, always have. And if you haven't seen The Big Brawl with Jackie Chan, it's a charming, period movie. He's terrific in it. Mako is hilarious in it. The fight scenes are a joy to watch. Billy the Kiss is the villain in it. It's just like, it's very, it's a sweet film. It's a sweet martial arts film. It's got a background story of, they're forcing him to fight. So it's very much like Any Which Way You Can, but with actual fighting. That was your first, Vincent, that was your first Jackie Chan movie? Yeah, it's terrific. It's just, yeah. So, yeah, Wheels on Meals is your favorite. Project A, Supercop, which is relatively new, and some people will know that one because it was, it was Rumble in the Bronx era Jackie Chan, which is when he was really introduced to the United States. It just terrific, but like, there is so much. The original Police Story. Drunken Master 2, like, I just love this stuff. I mean, Supercop, he got hurt. He got hurt a lot. Rumble in the Bronx, he broke his ankle and did the rest of a bunch of shooting with a cast on his ankle that looked like a shoe. Yeah, not Mako, but I love the line, "Conan cannot cry, so I cry for him." That's Sumatai, the thief and archer. "What are you doing here? Food for wolves?" Right, yeah, that. Anyways, I'm a huge Jackie Chan fan, always have been. And that overlap with Mako is terrific. But Mako also plays sort of the a father figure to the Jeff Speakman character. It's like people, all this talk about like, representation and yada yada. I don't like, when I was growing up, especially in the 80s, people were just together. You know what I mean? Like, there were all the movies I grew up with, all the races were just kind of hanging out. Now it seems like what people are talking about when they say representation is only that race in the movie. It's very weird. You know what I mean? Like, for all the shit about Mel Gibson these days, like the 50-50 black guy, white guy buddy cop comedies were the thing. Right? Yeah, Gen X. We knew how to get along. I blame branding. I'm always gonna, I'm settled in on this idea of branding and the mix of that with social media, that everybody needs their own personal brand to get ahead, and that social media is a distinct way of making a living. That's the root of most. Yeah, it's a good idea, Kale Link. I will frame the shirt. I actually was telling Summer about it, got it out of one of my storage boxes, and I think that's exactly what needs to happen. But 48 hours, holy shit. Trading places, and it deals with the racism of stuff at the time that the old world wanted, right? It's not like they avoided the issue or pretended everything was fine, right? Quite the opposite. But you just moved ahead. You just lived together. You just lived, and now branding has turned everybody into their own fiefdom, their own little tribe. And I think it's an illness. I think it's grotesque. I mean, I wouldn't want forced all white movies because, well, branding, most neighborhoods are, what I mean? It's just fucking weird. Yeah. I have a good collection of Hong Kong action flicks. Chan, Johnny To, Chow Yun Fat, Dan Yuen. Yeah. Sammo Hung, Andy Lau. I got to do a fight scene with Sammo. Come on now. I mean, all these other folks are shooting up and burning out, running their careers to the ground, and I'm over here stacking great experiences in my life like fucking cordwood. Because for real, I have sang with Smokey Robinson. I have sang with Dee Snider and Sebastian Bach. I have had a fight scene with Sammo Hung. See what I'm saying? Come on, people. I'm just let me just put that brick in on the pile of cool shit. Had a thing for Chow Yun Fat? Well, sure, yeah. He's a sexy man. Very gangster. That's true. It is because I'm motivated to be a BAMF. It's true. Thanks, Katie. What people didn't get, because I get offered those contest style reality shows all the fucking time, and I keep turning them down, and nobody can figure out why. And it's the only reason I'm going to do them is if it's going to give me an experience I either haven't had or have been wanting to have, or they'll teach me a skill. It's why I did Celebricadabra. It's why I did Celebrity Duets. Because my mom would kill me if I turned down the chance to sing with, any of the folks that were on there, right? It's insane. Don't spread myself too thin. I'm not worried about it. Nobody says to dirt and the ubiquity of it in the world, don't spread yourself too thin. And yet everything good we eat comes from it. Yep. I would rather my career have more in common with soil than a star. It's just true. I don't expect anybody to get that. My agents certainly don't. But that's, to have those kind of experiences in your life, I mean, no one can take those things away from you. somebody's freaking out about my hair. Yeah, it's spectacular. And it's kind of, I mean, it's a little fluffy today, so maybe that's their concern. But it's not this is how it is, kids. This is what I looked like growing up most of the time. What I think of To Live. We're talking about a song, a movie, a TV show. That's a, yeah. You're great at one thing, you miss out on a lot. I mean, the Master Generalist is the thing. Hal doesn't have irons in the fire. Hal is the fire. That's so great, Robin. Thank you. Hard to see with a dark t-shirt. Let's see. The office is this hemisphere acne had to hymenate it. What? Oh, right. Thanks. Yeah, I don't. It's so funny. Like the one thing that growing my hair out has helped me do is weed out the foreign trolls in the chat room, because they're the ones who think that Americans in particular associate long hair with simply with femininity or being girly. It's their own version of daddy issues that they have. It's really specific. Yeah, I agree. It's getting to a good length. It's a serious length. Yeah. And you can't, like, I have a black shirt on, so you can't really tell, but it's like, it's to here. This is, pulled to here. I'm wearing Master of Puppets today because I was, well, yeah. We honor the true Metallica. We had one agent. She basically got us gigs we probably would have gotten anyway. I think she might have slept with bar owners. Hey, whatever works, kid. Danzig length. My hair is longer than Danzig's. Thank you very much. What products do I use? Just CVS mousse, whatever I could find. I pick the mousse I use on my hair based on, does it moisturize and does it smell like fruit? Because I just like the smell. And I don't like, and it's not like they have dude mousse that smells like, that musky soap. The soap you can buy that's like, you're tired of soap that makes you smell like flowers and stuff. Oh, no, mention you body spray that makes you smell like flowers and stuff. No, this smells like saddle oil and gunpowder. This is a man's smell. Smells like brandy and divorce papers. This is a manly soap. It smells like day drunk. I call it day drunk, right? It smells, you're right. It smells like beef jerky and regret. Right? All of them. Yeah. It's an oak barrel full of minor criminal activities and a long rap sheet. Right? So they don't, yeah, herbal essence, exactly. They don't have, they don't have, manly mousse. They might have at one point. If we'd kept with the long hair for a while, it could have come around. But it ain't. Sorry. So now it's just, you gotta, I mainly, hey, come on now. I mainly use saddle soap and cat gut. Literally, the cats run away when they smell me. They don't know what's happening. Long hair didn't come with the metrosexual thing. Like now it's like man bun, which means they don't take care of it. I use stallion for men. Deer sweat, right? Yeah, they don't have brute moose. They don't have it. It's a shame. Some of my clients had siggy, stinky hair. You get a therapeutic massage around there, get you through an era. Oh God, yes, that is the issue with long hair though. It used to catch cigarette smoke, man. Now that's not a problem because you can't smoke indoors anywhere. It's fucking great. I use ivermectin for conditioner. It gives me a beautiful mane, right? I heard that some of those things they use on show horses can cure COVID. I heard that. I did. Mane and tail. I hate man buns. I'm sorry. That's my theory on man buns is that's young guys with long hair who are getting male pattern baldness back here that are hiding it with the man bun. Because that's why you put it there. Right? Regular ponytail, just put it in a ponytail. Ball it up in the back. But they always put it up top, right up here. That's what I think. That's my own personal. I think it's rude to ask. So, yeah, that's my theory. Yeah, top knot's pretty much the same kind of idea. It's the old samurai toupee, right? Hair's still growing on this side, so just wad it up on the top, put a little thing up there, just hold it there, cover the. I don't know, that's fine. People did, I mean, male vanity will always find a solution. Some of the greatest advances in human society have been caused by male vanity. Of course, some of the worst wars, but then, if you weigh them against it, all the small victories outweigh the big ones. How you are blessed at your age to have a full head of gorgeous hair. Well, yeah. I mean, it's, it's not as thick as it used to be. That's for sure. I mean, I'm 52, but my theory is that if I can hang on to what I've got for as long as possible, they'll have some sort of big, in 5 years, they'll be like, oh yeah, go get your shot and your hair never falls out. Like, that's going to happen. We know it. Rather than take, pills for a while that, might work, but also stop your penis from working for a while. Like, that seems to not interest me. That's always been the, Women find my hair attractive, and yet I can't do anything about it. It seems a little weird. I will say that having really long hair, that if I wanted to do a big pull comb over thing, I could do that, right? Excuse you. Right? Make my own wig out of my own hair for real. Yeah, I'll just cut off a big chunk of it and then just kind of spirit gum it to the top. Isn't that what Hair Club for Men does? Isn't that what I know someone who went professionally. That's all I'm going to say. Won't tell you who they are because it's their, but I know that's where they went. And I know they didn't end up with plugs. But they came back with a lot more hair. And it was fairly instant. So I was like, did they just glue it to your hair? Is that the thing where they glue more hair to your hair? Right? They used to do weaves. Is that what that was? Okay. You have to be a member to know. That's the thing. Is that I wouldn't, yeah. No, it wasn't like the Bosley stuff. It was specifically Hair Club for Men thing. I should grow sideburns, really? It wasn't that Cosmic Rose because they're bald as a post. Hair smelled like a pine tree after a sexy candle walked its way off the head of the bed of Gloria's name. All that wax out. Ow. Yeah. No sideburns? Like, it's going to be a back and forth. At some point, I'll grow some nose hairs. Yeah, like, that's... my theory is that Hitler's mustache was actually nose hair. It's spirit gum. That's the secret of Hair Club. Oh, they just glue it to your... Do you have to do it every day? Good Lord. That's... Because I've done, spirit gum... well, here, I'll show you. Hold on. I mean, who doesn't have this in their bathroom? Let's see. Yeah, there's the remover. I have, because of Sexy Liberal, yeah, I'm barefoot. It's early. So I basically buy, at this, there he is. It's Glenbo Jenkins, folks. I had to get a second one. I even have one. Where is it? It's sitting up here. Yeah, this guy. This is the gray Glenbo Jenkins one. This guy. Come on now. This fella. which, you know, quite frankly is not a bad look. Like, I could do a lot of westerns if I grew one of these things out. Like your style, dude. So, but I have a lot of, like prosthetics that I bought for just in case I wanted to make stuff. And boy, did I need these things during the shows as the Sexy Liberal went on and on. I didn't need one of these when we did the first one. Boy. Yeah. And then I needed this. And then there's a bald cap. And then, yeah. And then, yeah. So let's see. Where's that guy? Yeah. So there's spirit gum in here. And just the idea of like putting it on and taking it off was just hell. I mean, it's aggravating. Ooh, I forgot I had these down here. Vegetable gummies. Sam Elliott has a good stash, yeah. We want Al Billy, we want Al. I'll bring him back later today. I don't have him in this setup. Yeah, spirit gum and your real hair is the pain. Yeah, that's exactly it. You're clean, and first of all, you can't clean shave. I learned this. I was still in high school. You can't shave and then put it on immediately because Jesus, that stings. And so you don't shave that day, and it sticks to your real hair, your real scruff, and then peeling it off is really painful. There's got to be a better way. How use pure coconut on your scalp once a week. It'll keep your hair thick and healthy. Suggested to me by an oncologist. Works pretty darn good. Keeping most of mine. Oh, good. Pure coconut? Just get some coconut and rub it on your head? Coconut oil. Okay. All right. Oh, hi. Hey, Chip. What you doing, buddy? Psst. Hey. What you doing? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. You. What you doing? What you doing? What you running around doing? Are you running around? Are you running around? Are you getting tired? You want me to stop being on the show so you can come sit? He likes to sit next to me on the couch. So I have a... Yeah, you're getting tired, aren't you? Because you ate and then you ran around like a maniac. You've been playing in the box. And now you're getting sleepy. Isn't that right? So you don't know why I'm in here making all this noise. Keeping you awake. Yeah. There you go. Come on. There you go. There you go. Yeah, he's just walking around underneath that thing. So at this point, I have kind of now because we're doing the morning show, it sort of shifted my morning ritual of what I do. And there's a lot of keeping up with information that is now, it's always been part of my personality, but now it's part of my personality and my job. He's in the box again. You can probably hear it. And so after I finish with you guys, I go in the other room and I game for an hour just to clear my head. And I have my iPad next to me and I listen to either lectures or long-form news stories from foreign sources that I wouldn't get on my regular TV channels while I'm gaming, because I know 60% of what they're already talking about, so I don't need to just stare at it intently, but I can, if there's something about it, I can go, oh, hold on a second, what? And I can review it, or I can go back through stuff, yeah. And then, and while I do that, he lays next to me up against my leg. Oh yeah, shooting and killing clears my head, clearly. Recommendations in terms of games, or what? Because right now, I like the Lord of the Rings games are really fun if you played those, and then Assassin's Creed is kind of fun because I find that because you can jump off a tall building and land, it still gives me that like whoa feeling in my stomach when you jump off of something, which is very strange. I don't feel that in any other games running around at all. And yet that's when, yeah, Far Cry is fun, right? That's a little more, in line with like adventure Call of Duty-ish kind of versions of reality and how it happens. But you don't play with Destiny, do you? You mean the guy on Twitch? No, he that whole crowd are crazy people. Like Destiny and Bosch and all those people that are on Twitch, the sort of lefty and semi-lefty people who, like those, I watch some of their stuff because the conversations that they'll come up in my feed and people will be discussing these things, and I will occasionally go, all right, what's the word on the street or the interpretation on the street, quite frankly, that happens. And it's the same thing I do with right-wingers when I watch them, and I'm like, all right, how are they taking this piece of news? What are they saying about it? And what inferences are they drawing? No, I don't watch Hassan. I've watched some of his stuff, again, reference against that, but usually it's when he's done something awful, because his interpretation of events is garbage. I mean, beyond just being, morally and ethically fucked in a bunch of ways, he's also just flat wrong a lot. I mean, shouldn't be surprising. There's a lot of money in being wrong, apparently, as I have learned on these networks. Being right all the time does not pay anywhere near as well. I was top score for a while on Joust. I love Joust. Joust is in my top 3 arcade games of all time, with Galaga, and I vacillate with sort of it'd be Galaga, Joust, and then the third part, there's kind of a mix of like Tempest. I also love Battlezone. They kind of fight for the third spot. Favorite 80s old school video game? Many of you may or may not know, but one of the check that box things in my life that I grow, I was like, I'm going to have an upright video game. Oh, Defender's awesome as well. And so I have a Sinistar, which I had to look all over to find because they were pretty rare. So I have an upright Sinistar that I found. And then I had it modded to have a bunch of other games in it. Do you follow Monty Python movies? I've seen all of them and have nearly all of them memorized. And our boom operator, Craig on Queer as Folk, literally looked like Terry Gilliam a bit and knew every line from every Monty Python film. And so he and I would go off. And it drove some of the folks crazy because we knew all the lines back and forth. So we would just do them. We could drop into parrot sketch, but we could go into like obscure stuff, Life of Brian and stuff from and now for something completely different. The modified versions of the sketches when they made a movie from them. Yeah. Am I a Spinal Tap fan? Of course. I happen to think that Hellhole is a genuinely good song, as silly as it is. Yeah, and every line of most Schwarzenegger movies. That's amazing. You should not drink and bake. It's not your style, Dylan. So you cooked up the story and dropped the 6 of us into the meat grinder. Idiocracy or not. Talk about mud flaps, my girl's got 'em. Right. You know what one of the funniest lines in Spinal Tap, in my estimation? There's so many subtle ones that are just amazing. Like, we'd love to stay here and talk, but we got to go sit in the lobby and wait for the limo. It's just, I mean, fucking hell. Come on. That line is so goddamn funny. And it's Howard Hessman. We'd love to sit here and we'd love to stay here and talk, but we got to go sit in the lobby and wait for the limo. so mean. Oh God. But in when they're trying, after Nigel has quit, he goes, can you play the bass line on Big Bottom like Nigel does? And he said, and the keyboard player says, yeah, I got two hands. They're all playing basses. It's everybody's playing a bass in that. What do you mean? There's only like 3 notes and everybody's playing bass. Look at it. There are no guitars on stage. It's just bass. And then the keyboard player's doubling the bass line. Yeah, I got 2 hands. Oh, fucking hell, that's so great. Just think about it. Oh, God. And as a musician, like, you're just like when I heard that, I was watching with the guys in my high school band. We watched it together. Fucking hell. That's a Blue Oyster Cult dig. That's right. I got 2 hands. Fucking hell. That's so funny. Oh, yeah. Oh, and you can't really dust for vomit. There's a hard cut right after that line because they all busted up. You can see the edit there. They're almost ready to die, and they say that they fall apart. The real hero in that movie is Rob Reiner because he's the dude. He never fucking breaks. He never like they're breaking themselves. There's a couple of times where you're like, oh, they had to cut around them laughing. He's just fucking playing dumb the whole time in this beautiful way. Why don't you, why don't you just make it louder and make 10 louder? Like all that shit. Oh God, it's so good. We gotta all go watch it again. Yes, it's so funny. What's the hamburger in the basket behind you? That's the hamburger phone. We get calls all the time. Yeah, this is my, and I should bring it back over because I have a feeling, Trump's gonna call in. It's, I swear to God, if anybody knows, I've been trying to find one and I haven't in a long time, but somebody needs to do a converter box that turns an old regular plug-in phone into a Bluetooth device. It wouldn't be hard. It's just wiring. It's just audio wiring, right? There's a carrier signal cable and audio in and out on each of these things. Can I do a watch party? I can on, if it's on Amazon, I think, Gambit. You can do that on Twitch. I've been wanting to do those for a while. Working on it, Mom and you. Well, please get on it, because I think it, yeah. Because, like, just having this and being able to click on, yeah, I would love to do that if it's an available movie. But I've been wanting to do a Twitch watch party for a while, where you just put on a movie and you can watch it together. Yeah. I'll pick something out. Maybe in the next couple weeks, we'll try and find a night that we can all do it together or something. Hipster's still carrying around wooden crank phones, right? It's a phone and a hamburger. Well, I keep folding, and then it's this, and I don't want that. I just want large bread. See, because I have basically the 2 different phone calls we get regularly. We either take them on the Garfield phone, or we take them on the hamburger phone. Yeah, I got this. I literally got this as a gag because of Steve from the Gold Coast, who calls in on my radio show. I was like, at some point, I just want to be able. I want to, like, when I'm talking to Steve from the Gold Coast, I just wanted to hold this up and speak like, "Hey, Steve, how's it going?" So, yeah. I mean, I could, and the problem is taking this apart would mean, cracking the seals on it, and it would be hard to get it back together because this won't unscrew. It's glued in place, so I'd have to break it to do it. But I guess I could just wire it out from this. Now I have a whole project you guys have given me. That's what's happening. I'm going to end up doing this, aren't I? And yes, when I am mayor of Los Angeles, this will be the phone that I use in my office. It will be the phone on my desk. Just saying. This is it. I'm going to find a way. And some people will call me Mayor McCheese, and I will just live with it. So, yeah. Have you ever watched Mystery Science Theater? Yeah, of course. Back in the day. The new one, I don't know, whatever. Don't ruin the phone. Use something else to test the theory. Yeah, I'll buy another one and dummy it. Yeah. Yeah. We'll do it live. Probably just a hamburger phone. Somebody probably has made one somewhere. Yeah. Well, they have like Bluetooth phones that you can hook up to your, you can plug in that will act as a Bluetooth device. Like, and I don't know why Lisa can't call me Mayor Pete. I'm sure they would. You'll be mayor of LA. I've already told my friends. Well, thank you, Lynette. We're gonna swing for the fences. It's gonna happen. I just have to pick out my my giant Zaphod Bibelbrox outfit that I've got to wear, when I'm running. Big shoulders, kind of silver lining, something, like something close to what Paul Stanley wore on the Asylum tour, but a little more, space president. Thanks, Katie. I appreciate that. Thank you for noticing. I have to say, our little conversation a while ago on one of the morning shows about, 1% improvement and all that kind of stuff made me go through what I wanted to do in each of these, in my radio show and go, all right, I'm going to plot out the segments a little more so that I can bring these pieces together. And I have to say, when I do that, the show flies by because I'm not searching for the next beat or having to, I don't know. But the problem is I also don't take calls because I've already got the whole show plotted out as far as what I want to talk about. So I think in the upcoming ones, I might have to go calls, segment 3, both hours, take calls, and then go back to what I was doing. But yeah, because I could do, 3 hours of just phone calls every day if I wanted to. But yeah. Oh God, I have to. I'm sorry. This made me laugh out loud in bed, and I woke up Summer this morning because of this. And this is where, and I just had this karate conversation with my girlfriend yesterday. And then this thing honored an honorary 9th degree black belt in Taekwondo yesterday. Look at this dude's fist. Look at his hand. But this whole, get it, yeah, is there a way I can get kind of a girdle lift in this? Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Yes, it's real. Oh God, it's so funny. And then, and a 9th degree, like a 9th, just give him an honorary black belt for fuck's sake. But even, here's the thing, giving someone an honorary doctorate from a school, from kind of like their idea, the kind Cosby got, they give it to you as kind of a liberal arts thing. You know what I mean? That so much life experience has led you to this moment where you are a wizened old person, and therefore you deserve, if someone wants your advice, by God, they probably will get some good advice because you may not have gone to school here, but you've learned a lot of good things, right? This is like giving someone an honorary empty gun they can carry with them at all times in case of emergencies. You know what I mean? This is... that doesn't do you, yeah, a PhD in education, right? The idea that he was, he's teaching through comedy, you know what I mean? But he's not gonna try and get a job as a Cosby wasn't going to get a job in education as the chancellor of the any particular college or the teachers association or something like that. You know what I mean? It was just, it's like, oh, that's nice. Nobody's going to call you on it, on an honorary doctorate, really. Unless it's like somebody gives you an honorary doctorate from the physics department of someplace. Like, nobody does that because the fuck, if you don't know shit about physics, what in the world, right? They're always kind of relatively generic to life experience. This is like, okay, this will never happen. But you're in a bar and you're hanging out with a group of 10 or 15 people, and amongst them is Donald Trump, and some shit goes down in the bar, and everybody goes, who amongst the bad guys are between us and the door? Who among us is the greatest fighter? Who can protect us all as we make our way to the exit? Hang on for a second. Donnie has a 9th degree black belt in Taekwondo. Push him in front. Right? It's like Gary always has a gun on him. Gary, you always have a gun. And he goes, it's rubber. You know what I mean? What do you mean? It's a rubber gun. What the fuck are you talking about? It's a rubber gun. You always have it. Yeah, it's a rubber gun. I always carry a rubber gun. Why the fuck do you carry a rubber gun? Because people are scared of guns. Yeah, but only because they're guns, not because they're rubber. What the fuck's the matter with you? I don't know. I got it as a gift. What do you mean? It's an honorary rubber gun. Get the fuck out of here. I'm going to kill you. Now I'm on the sides of the guys kicking our asses. How can you smile that big and not be high? Oh, this is a snap muzzle. He just can't believe anybody likes him. I mean, he's sundowning. This is a man becoming a child again. This is how we go. We go dribbling, shitting our pants, bald, to life, and then, back to dribbling, shitting our pants, bald. And he's on the downslope of that. So everything's like, they like me. It's fun. I can play dress up. Like, he's always been a sexually arrested 14-year-old, but now he's like 9. And it's the same smile. Yeah, it's that aggrieved. Yeah. But he also doesn't understand, like, that guy's a real master. He's a real fighter. So he's like, this guy likes me. The guy who really can fight likes me. He's on my side. That's what that is. I'm just going to play out the scene with Gary and his rubber gun in my head all day long, because that's like, as impromptu sketches go, that's a pretty good one. Oh, God. Look, the wall photos? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, it's all, everybody was like, is it fake? I'm like, no, look at all the self-aggrandizing bullshit in this room. And the like, he's redone the curtains in all of his offices to look like the Oval Office curtains, the way they do them. They weren't like that before. They were just standard and flat. They were long drape. And now they do these multiple billow versions of things. Wes Webb, both parents had dementia. I'm pretty sure I'm a candidate. Well, there was just a report, Wes, that there's a couple of things you can do. I just noticed this while we're going to the good news stuff. Let's see. Dementia. There was literally a new, just came out today. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. It was about, like, Times of India put out this story, the habits that can increase your risk of dementia and make you age faster and how to get over them. And this just came up today. Life impact stuff. Okay. Not enough B12. That would be it. Not enough B vitamins. And since we have shifted away from meat, and a lot of people did that for their health in my parents' generation, and in my generation especially. They didn't get enough B vitamins. And if you're feeling stressed out, one of the reasons that your body gets stressed is not enough B vitamins. So, if you're not going to, have organ meats, or you're not going to eat, animal products, that's fine. But make sure you supplement with a full spectrum B supplement. Taking your heart health lightly. It might be important to never ignore matters of heart health. In your 20s, 30s, 40s, increasing the hearing of rising heart risks among the young. Poor diligence, attention to heart health, following poor cardiac preventive measures. Okay, well, if your blood can't pump properly, of course, your brain takes 60% of the oxygen that your body takes in, and so yeah, it's kind of important. Staying sedentary. Healthy at any weight. That whole argument that people are making is not true, and overtime will harm you. Please start moving around. You don't have to look like a supermodel. You don't have to look like as a matter of fact, some people with like a small layer of body fat around them at all times can be healthier in a lot of circumstances. So, but your liver fat has a lot to do with it. That's a conversation for another day. But please, this idea that not exercising and eating shit and being proud of it is a point of pride is embarrassing, and that talking about it is somehow fat shaming is just wrong, and it's killing people. So can we please stop that nonsense? All right. This is another one. Being socially isolated. Yeah, if the only person you talk to is yourself, your brain's going to start winding down. Yep. Yeah. Motion is lotion. Look out. Yes. Yes, B vitamins will help if you have anxiety to a certain extent. I'm not a doctor, but I guess I have to say that kind of stuff so I don't get shut down or something. But it's well known and well documented that the full spectrum, B vitamins and having your B vitamin level at a solid level is good for your anxiety, is good for getting rid of it. Because your body panics if you're not eating. Remember, all fear is based on anger. Anger is a hunger-related disorder, and depression is a dehydration-related disorder. If you are sad, drink some water. Your body starts to shut down if you don't have enough water, because you can't punch rain out of the sky. Your body says, okay, don't expend any extra energy. Calm down. Don't sweat. Don't move. Don't injure yourself. Don't get scraped or bleed where we don't have water. So you start to physically depress. And so if you want to reassure your body that you are okay, drink enough water. If you are angry, it is because your body is saying you don't have enough nutrients. This is the physiology reasons in this. And this is based on my own theory where the hangry idea comes from, and that anger is based on loss. Most emotional anger is based on loss. If you're going to lose something, that's why you get angry. Nobody gets angry about shit they don't care about losing. But if you think you're going to lose something, that's what makes you angry. And if you think it's rare or whatever you're losing, or hard to come by, you'll be even more angry. Right? So, but if you're hungry, you can solve that through aggressive behavior. You can tear roots out of the ground and gnaw on them. You could climb a tree. You could punch somebody and take their food. You could bite something. You could hunt an animal and kill it. So evolutionarily, we evolved to fight for food, hence anger. And when there's not enough water, basically have hibernating kind of behavior till it rains again, or we find it. You can walk, but the long march to follow the water is part of it. But that's the two, that's the way they separate out. It's not going to cure anything, but that's the first thing you should do if you're feeling that way, because it might just be that, right? The problem is we misread those kind of feelings and think it must be that because, of course, why wouldn't I be angry about this? It must be this. I'm just depressed. When in reality, it might be these physiological aspects. You solve for those first, and then if it continues, then you know that it's beyond that, right? Solve for the thing that your body's built to solve for immediately. And that's why, anxiety is related to dehydration. And you should also have, is related to hunger, lack of nutrients. So yeah, being socially isolated, not good. Poor sleep, yep, we all know this. It's not just the length of sleep, it's the depth of your sleep and staying asleep and all that kind of stuff, which if you tell people that will make them more likely to wake up in the middle of the night and stare at the ceiling going, I'm killing myself by not being asleep. Biden is speaking. Is he talking about the Wisconsin thing or, yeah. No, we'll talk. Excess alcohol intake. Apart from liver and heart, having too much alcohol has been linked to poor brain health and dementia. A neurotoxin like alcohol can cause brain atrophy and cause an onset of early stage memory loss. For optimum health benefits, stick to a maximum of a drink or two every day and stay aware of all risk factors. I'm aware of all those risk factors. That's why I do not drink, and I never have. And I'm not going to. And if other people do, I'm totally fine with that. Knock yourself out. If that's the way you solve for it, and you don't overdo it, and you don't harm yourself in the process, who gives a shit? But I'm I don't do it at all. So, but anyways, those are the things. And the B vitamin thing was the primary one that stood out because that's the sort of the only active thing besides going out with friends and being together. Because even though we're all used to we're probably adapting to the Zoom-ish connection in a way, because I feel like even though, I'm talking to screens and there's a lens here and you're not sitting here, and I'm sure there's some sort of baseline pheromonal thing about being around other human beings that doesn't get solved in that. I think we're all growing to adapt to a closer connection through digital means. So we actually do feel connected through these means. And that's why, when people, like, I always used to think it was hilarious when kids would like messaging their friends or texting all the time, and grandparents or older folks would go like, they're being antisocial. Like, they're being super social. They're here with you and they're talking to like 15 other people. Like, it's a social interaction. It's just not, meet to meet, as it were. And so there is a value to that, and we may be, undervaluing it currently because of COVID and other stuff. We're weighing it against it. Yeah. Yay, the floors are in. Congratulations. It's the best hit money. Excellent. Alcohol destroys the central nervous system, tells the body not to sleep when it needs sleep, and vice versa. More than one alcoholic beverage a day is harmful. Yeah, and it does dehydrate you, right? Which makes it a depressant. Yeah. Anyways, so notice there's mushrooms in this pile, and cheese, and also shellfish of certain types, and salmon, and the biggest fucking chunk of liver I have ever seen in my life. What is going on here? I don't know what, like, Christ almighty. And I guess this is a flank steak, yeah, that they're going to cut into flank steak, and then a bunch of there's oysters, and then a pile of oats sitting here. All right. While it does not have a direct impact on memory function, B12 is an important nutrient to be included in your everyday diet, whether you're vegan or vegetarian or non-vegetarian, since it is intrinsically good for the brain. Yeah, so you have to supplement. You gotta. That's super important. But that just came up today. Yeah. Yes, if you're sad, drink some water. Just hydrate. Soup also helps. Soup is just basically, tea with, it's basically vegetable tea. But it will hydrate you. Also, I was always under the belief that that caffeine was a diuretic, and therefore it would dehydrate you. Like coffee would act as a diuretic and dehydrate you. But in reality, the effect is incredibly minor. There's been a bunch of they finally peer reviewed those studies, and then did multiple other studies, and it just kind of zeroes out that there's nothing particularly diuretic about coffee. What it does is it cranks up your metabolism, and you might shed more water because you're more active because of that, but it's not directly related to just intake output, right? So the idea that coffee is as a diuretic is because of the caffeine it's not important. According to the study, they finally kind of wrapped it on that, hey, we finally looked. But sodas, on the other hand, that have caffeine in them can often have a diuretic effect, depending on the high sugar sodas, and it might just be the sugars themselves that combine with it. Caffeine is a bowel STI. What? Oh, bowel stimulant? Were you trying to type that? Yes, it is. It certainly is. There's shirts you can buy online that's there was a mug. I forget who had it. I think Eden Dranger had a mug that said "Coffee makes me poop," right? I think she was the one in the picture, if I'm not mistaken. Did you not use coffee until recently? No, I'm mostly a tea person. Summer drinks a lot of coffee, so I will rarely drink. I don't mind coffee, and when I do, I prefer it black, just by itself. I drink iced coffee most of the time, but hot black coffee was something that was something my dad did for a long time, and I think I had an aversion to it because of that. Yeah. Water makes you poop too. That's true. But either way, I think in general, and the 8 glasses of water a day thing is bullshit as well. It's that turned out under peer review to not be a number. It became more of a myth. There's a lot of nutritional mythology out there that just carried on from a long time ago and has been sitting around. But the reason telling people that is actually helpful is because nobody actually drinks those 8 a day, when you tell them to, for more than 3 days. And you're like, I can't do it. I try to drink 8. It's a lot of it's because more than likely it will increase, by telling you to drink 8, it will increase your intake by 2 or 1 over a while. And that in and of itself is a plus, right? Oh, Dawn, you have that mug? That's great. Eight glasses of water a day is great for you if you like diarrhea. Well, who doesn't, honestly? Drink 8 waters, forget about sleeping. Right, exactly. But the idea, again, is that, so that becomes the question philosophically, and I ask you, amongst the wonderful thinkers we have with us, is a lot of the advice given to the public an overshoot because they know the public will never, if you tell people to drink 3 glasses of water, they won't drink any, or they'll think they're getting plenty. 3, I drink 3, I must drink 3, I have to already. But if you tell them to drink 8, they'll drink 3 on top of whatever else they're drinking, and that will improve their health and long-term improve their long-term health, and also lower the healthcare costs for the nation over time because people are drinking 3 more glasses of water a day, and it's helping them out, right? So you say 8 when you want 3, right? That you're in a negotiation with a child, right? Yeah, ask for what you want, get what you need. But the problem is in that situation is that if you're doing it from an authoritarian source, not like trying to be a parent talking to a child and negotiating what you'll get them, but telling them a definitive number. This is the truth, and I am the arbiter of truth. And then you intentionally overshoot because you know psychologically people won't follow the truth. And eventually they find out that you've been exaggerating the number to manipulate them. Well, they no longer think of you as a pure source for information and think of you as a form of, however positive, propaganda. You say coffee works its magic. Yeah, which means I got to go poop. Yeah. right? Yeah, drink more water works for most people. Like, you got to drink more water. Whatever you're drinking, you're probably not drinking enough. That would be enough to be realistic, but science would never say that, because they're like, what if there's someone out there who's drinking 3 gallons a day, and we say whatever you're drinking, you're probably drinking more, then that person's going to go crazy and they're going to die of water toxicity, right? So they have to dial it back, right? Is the problem the disconnect between messaging science for the public? Yeah? Right. So, like, I'll give you an example. Like, most people know that the reason why the Old Testament and anybody who comes from those areas don't eat pork is not because God has a particular bone to pick with that animal, because lots of other humans all over the world have consumed lots of calories, survived winters eating it, and gone on to create more progeny because they had pork to eat in many societies. China basically runs on it. So obviously God isn't, picking winners and losers in that regard in the animal kingdom, because that was just odd. But the reason they didn't do it is because of trichinosis, right? They didn't know why. They didn't know why it would kill you, but it would. More often than not, it was hard to, it was hard to preserve. It was, in the area where, there was not a lot of ice, right? So preserving meats and that kind of stuff had to take a whole other tack, right? And those are the ones that did it. People recognized that early. They didn't know why. They didn't know what germs were, but in an attempt to save as many human beings as possible, they said God hates pork. Because if you just told them that stuff's unhealthy, 1 out of 9 of them will make you sick, it seems. Then people would go, well, I got an 8 out of 9 chance and I'll be just fine. Because people haven't changed in a long time, right? Salt, priceless to many. Absolutely. I mean, that's, salt, Roman soldiers were paid in salt. That's what the old phrase, worth his salt meant. If someone was worth their salt. Yeah, they had to add salt as a preservative to meat to help keep it. And they didn't have a ton of it in that area either. It would often come through, transporting and trade, right? But then again, is that a bad move? You could effectively say lying to the people about salt will preserve the meat, but it won't stop the trichinosis. It doesn't solve that problem, right? And so that's why. I mean, it's fundamentally why. Yeah. And by the way, the idea that Hindus worship cows, they worship oxen, and that's largely so that when if you're an agrarian society and you're growing food, you don't when you're starving kill your cow during a downturn in crops, and then you can't grow any afterwards, or kill someone else's. That's right. If they ate the oxen, no plants. So they made the animal sacred because that's the only thing that would keep people in a desperate situation from eating them. Same thing is true of pork and trichinosis, is that the only way you could stop people from eating them was to tell them that, God said no, otherwise they would, and you'd lose a lot of people. Out of osmosis, not gnosis, right? So, you can say that that's, organized religion and mind control, or you can say that they were trying to find the best way to tell people who weren't as far along something that was a white lie that would save their lives. Because you can't come to a philosophical enlightenment at any point if you're starving to death or if you've watched your child starve to death. These, there was a reason behind the rules. And if there wasn't a reason behind the rules, they just fall away. They don't last very long. They just, that's the thing. The word sausage, salami are both derived from the word salt. That's right. Salt usage, sausage. Yeah, the salt of the earth, right? He's the salt of the earth. Like he's crucial, necessary. Psychology as a Western invention? No, it's a modern invention. I wouldn't say Western. I mean, just because, the East rejects it doesn't mean that they didn't think of it for a while. How I got the plays moving in weekend. Yay! Yay, Bendy Loco! Digital housewarming party for Benny Loco this weekend. Salt your coffee. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's fucking interesting, man. Salt is applied to pelts to cure them. Yes, it's true. Salt of the earth equals purity. Yeah, yes, but it also the cleanest form, but also the person is crucial. Yeah. I hate winter. It's winter here. I love winter. I really do. Makes it taste like dark chocolate. That's fascinating. I guess it would. Yeah, that makes sense. I can see that. Everything that makes sense makes sense. Yeah. I'm just, I see a lot of, because I check Raw Story fairly regularly for stories and stuff. And I try to dodge their abject racism and their absolute, bigoted atheism as much as I can. But it does drag on me occasionally that they feel the need to scream at the religious, that they believe in a sky wizard and blah blah blah, without any recognition of the depth and faith of those people and what it means to them, and that there's always a possibility that their version, however crooked in its interpretation, might be right on some grand scheme. If it turns out we live in a sim and someone's the programmer at some point, then all of them turn out to be right. Now, all the religions turn out to be right. They're just wrong in their direction. Yes, bigoted atheism. And so, and they do it with regularity. It comes with like blaming religion for all the wars. That idea, as if most of the wars in the world haven't been fought over resources by most of the time by those that don't have, taking from kingdoms that have. I mean, as the European wars go and Asiatic wars go, it's usually like, look at those people. They live on the, their farmland is functional. We've killed our topsoil. Let's go kill them and kill their topsoil too. And there's a lot of that. Yeah, Fish on Friday came because they literally were trying to limit the amount of meat they used up. I mean, that was strictly, Mediterranean areas where, that idea launched from. And so you save, you need land for cattle and chickens and cows and that kind of stuff. But you need, if you eat fish on Friday, and it's healthier too, you can slowly but surely dial people back. Put a little salt in my Crystal Light. Nominate sometimes for a sort of Gatorade. That would do that too. Yeah. Deceased father's side of the family makes homemade sausages. Use lots of dangerous chemicals that cause cancer to cure it. I don't eat it. A lot of cancer deaths in father's side because of it. Jeez. Yeah, we're going to Thanksgiving in Nashville this week. I fly out tomorrow night, and Camden and I are going to Nashville, and to have Thanksgiving at my uncle's house, and he cures country. He lives out in the woods, and he cures country hams. He's got a big. They built their log cabin house by hand. They got 5 old dogs in a pen. Whenever I make a reference to a crazy guy at the end of a long road with a pen full of rowdy dogs, that's the mental picture that's in my head. Is my uncle's dogs, because they're lovely, but they're always covered in mud and poop because they run around like crazy, and they're country dogs, so they just go everywhere. Moses was a lousy tourist guide. Or he didn't lead them straight into death, which was the problem. They didn't wander in the desert. The area they were going to was controlled by people who would kill them, so they couldn't rush back there. They didn't have the forces to take it, and everybody convinced that God was going to give them their land back. And if you walk straight up there, they'd all just get murdered because they thought, we should go right there. It's ours, right? It's the promised land. Let's go straight to the promised land. Like, yeah, dude, if we go to the promised land, the Romans are there too. They're gonna kill us. if the Muslims on the way don't kill us in process or whatever, what would effectively be the other house of Abraham at that time. So let's just wander around till we find a weakness, until we all right, now it's a good time. Now let's go, right? They wandered for 40 years. Yeah, they just couldn't find their way, I guess. Thyroid controls most of your hormones. It's true. Gods are aliens. That's a concept. Some people that we are genetic crossbreeds between alien DNA and the apes that were natural to here. Are you gonna stream cover Tucker Rittenhouse? Probably not, because it would draw attention to it, and there's nothing that's going to be said in it that is going to be meaningful to the conversation. Basically calling a barnacle a whale when you do that. How, when you were little, did you ever go to a Pentecostal church, sit in the back with your friends and blow spitballs in the back of their necks when they got holy rolling? God, it's fun. I can feel it. What's that? Oh, Lord, I felt you flicking me on the back of the head. Yeah. 12th Planet's a great book. Zachariah Sitchin. Does Tucker ever say anything meaningful? No, but it's sometimes you have to keep track of or point to stuff. The Cylons? No. Cylon Raiders were designed after Apaches, if you'll notice. Because the original Battlestar Galactica is Wagon Train, remade as a space show. And the Cylon Raiders were Indians. They were Apaches. Apaches had their war paint would have a stripe across the eyes, so hence the one light going that whole thing. That was in reference to that. One old dude got going like a steam train, moving his arms like the wheels, and that's hilarious. Sitchin is an idiot who deliberately mistranslated Babylonian text. Yeah, but it's a fun read. The original Battlestar Galactica is Mormonism in space. Or vice versa. oh, excuse you. Oh, that. What in the world? Somebody falling around. This just fell off. That was weird. There's a ghost. We made Pentecostal jokes and something fell off the bottom of my... I was like, I thought Chip was down here and something just fell off. No, it wasn't Kitty. It was just a ghost. Someone shot a spitball. Good Lord. Hi, everybody. Welcome. We're getting near the end of the morning show right now. We'll wind it down, but it's been a good conversation so far. It's good. And we'll have, God knows, plenty to talk about this afternoon in the regular show. Tomorrow, I will have the regular afternoon show, and then more than likely, kids, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, no shows because it's a holiday and I will be traveling. And I hope you guys can forgive me for taking off 3 days. I will do my radio show from my dad's house because we're going to go up to Cincinnati and I'll be able to do it from there. So I'm bringing a whole rig with me just to do one. And but I will do that. I should have a book of the month club. Yeah. Do you write, direct, or act only? I do all three. Thank you for asking. No laughs on Thanksgiving. I know. I might post a hello, but I won't do a regular kind of show. But I hope you guys can appreciate, as much as our side believes in paid family leave, the ability to have a holiday is incredibly crucial. And I have to say, since we started this thing as a regular show, there's a couple of times when I've kind of twisted about whether or not to take the days or not. So yeah, we'll cover some of the. I'm recording, and I'm going to download the live parts of Mike Pillow's thing to have them for next week from his assathon. And if he does something extraordinary, I'll find a way to pop on and go look. But family first. That's right. It's a Freemason thing. Yes. The way we do it is as far as your scheduling of life, family, work, masonry. So those are on priority to where you put your time. And yeah, let me see. Oh God, why is Peppa Pig? Oh, I see. Boris Johnson says he went to Peppa Pig World yesterday, and it's my kind of place. Do you know it's illegal to have a Peppa Pig tattoo in China? You know why? Because there's a region in China where on the map that looks like Peppa Pig's head, shaped like that, and a lot of these gangsters who come from there get a Peppa Pig tattoo, and so they made it illegal because it was a gang tattoo. That's right. The Chinese gangs have Peppa Pig tattoos, which I think is fascinating. That was true. Your family are mason jar users? Okay, here, I'll pick a book off of my shelf for the first. Let's see, what's a good one? I will say that let's see, there's this book is something that I received my first. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can pull it up or whatever. Let's see. That yeah, I'll find it. Anyways, this book was the first copy I got of it was given to me as a gift. And then I got it as a gift for a couple of other friends, and I have a copy of it myself. This is Og Mandino's University of Success. And it's basically like cliff notes of a bunch of books on like business success and work ethic and things like, like classics like Think and Grow Rich and other stuff like that, but done kind of he puts it in a format where you graduate, where, this is the starter kit version of stuff, and then you work your way up as far as, what the lessons that these books should teach you. And so he kind of puts them in order. It's pretty good. And so Drew Carey gave me a copy of this book. I ran into him at a party. We were talking for a couple of minutes. And he goes, you ever read, he goes, my favorite book is Og Mandino's University of Success. You ever read it? And I went, no, I have not. And so he sent me a copy. He straight up sent me a copy, just mailed it. It showed up at my agent's office. And I was like, that's really cool. That is one of those things you hear about people doing, right? And I was like, and so out of respect for the fact that he just sent me a book, I read it, and it is good. And there's a lot of great stuff in it. So there you go. So paying it forward from Drew Carey, Og Mandino's University of Success is a solid one. And I'll recommend some others as we go along. I doubt some of the other things on my shelf, like the bilingual Columbo, would be as useful to people. Yes, I have a Columbo mystery book in English and French, so I can be the next Inspector Clouseau. So I can, yeah. I picked this up at a used bookstore recently because I've been working on my French again, and I was like, "That's amazing." I took it as a sign that I need to like dust off my French and speak better at it. You know, speak better French. So the cats will be doing Hal's podcast while he's gone. That's true. They're going to be miserable. Oh my God, the howling that will happen while I'm, you know. Summer will be here taking care of him. So, we don't have to like Drew Carey to like the book. Definitely nerdy. Yes, for sure. And I love Columbo. Yeah, I should be wearing. I'll wear my Columbo shirt on, you know, on the next show. Oh, thanks. Yeah, my butt's all right. It's getting together, you know. All right, I'm gonna let you guys go, and I will see you this afternoon for the regular show, 3 p.m. Pacific time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Give a thumbs up if you like conversations like this. These things are becoming like genuinely like, dare I say, podcasty, and that's not what I want. But I do like the fact that in the mornings we can have these kind of fluid conversations about stuff, and that are both, you know, topical and philosophical. But remember, anything that I bring up, anything I present to you during these things should be added to the wealth of experience, knowledge, and understanding that you already have in your life. And you should grow that, you should expand that bowl as much as possible so that it can, you know, accept and reject things based on their worth. Not the, you know, not on how you should feel about something or how I guess I would say circle of friends, but your circle of thought in some ways. You know, I'm seeing a lot of, and especially around the recent unpleasantness, I'm seeing a lot of groupthink based on misinformation, and just watching it grow like wildfire. And if anything, I want you guys to be able to, when a new circumstance happens, or a roll of, you know, a sort of rolling tide or a herd mentality idea around something starts happening, that you can, if you believe you're fully justified in joining that herd and running with it, you've at least done it based on the merits, and you've looked through it all the way before you do that. Yeah. And not just because, oh, the people I like seem to like this. And because that's not a reason to join something. We're in such an overwhelming time. Only because we are keyed up to be overwhelmed. And it's very easy to get us to play into that overwhelm. So, there you go. Yeah. What's this? Who's putting an entire let's see. John just posted a big diatribe in the thing. Your friend is wrong. That's it. But here's the thing. I want you guys, because something's going to happen in the next couple days where people are like, finally, there's justice in the world. And then there'll be another case where it won't go the way you think it goes, and they'll go, justice has died. And I want you to not be used as a political, philosophical, emotional, or I guess spiritual ping pong ball in all these things. Yeah, John, yeah. The simple reason, John, is that if that were the case, an illegal alien could never defend themselves in the United States if they were being attacked. Which is not the case, nor should it be the case, nor would we want it to be the case. That's why your friend is wrong. It's silly. And also the coffee case also proves that. He claimed self-defense, and he absolutely was found not guilty on those charges because of it, for that very reason that I just said. So there you go. The other thing, too, is we'll talk about this later, because I have no doubt somebody's going to bring it up, that the no turkeys, no Christmas trees, gas prices are high and staying horrible, and the shelves are empty storylines are like another right-wing talking point. We're watching them just wither and die. Now we're angry about redness. No, don't include me in the we. Doesn't work that way. I can't find a turkey tree to save my life. Touche. Touche. Yeah. I appreciate you guys. I will see you guys later. Will I pop in for the Arbery verdict? No, I'll probably review it, but I don't believe in, that only happened on the other one because we were on the air when it happened, organically, but I don't believe in jumping in on those kind of things and watching them live. They should not be emotional holidays. I don't believe it. Oh, yeah. Did he pardon the turkeys, peanut butter and jelly? Yeah. So much love. We're very happy, Benny Loco, that you found a place. Thank you guys for the super chats today. Thank you. And Aggie, thank you. I can only super chat when clicking on somebody else's super chat. Weird. Oh, well, that's very strange, but I'm glad you did. Thank you, Environmental Coffee House. I appreciate it. Am I familiar with the Fire Sign Theater? Of course I am, Gary. Thanks, Misty Q. I try. Benny Loco, bless you. Please don't ever do a comb over. Well, I think it would look good in a movie or something, right? Like as a character. Although I have to say, I think Johnny Depp in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas made guys everywhere feel way better about the idea of going bald. And J.K. Simmons and of course Patrick Stewart should have taken all the fear out of having horseshoe hair forever. I mean, honestly. What's the worry? So, anyways, no, but hell no. I just mean as a character. They can be really funny for a character. You know what I mean? Like a giant one that's just sitting there and that sits up when the wind blows. There's some good comedy in those. I've seen some great comedy on comb over hair, especially when it's sprayed flat and it opens like one of those garbage cans you step on. You know what I'm talking about? Thank. Like, that's hilarious. Still debating about shaving your head? I say give it a try. I've never done it. I've never shaved my hair, like my hair completely off. I've never. So I still have, I feel like I have a pretty good skull. It feels nice when I, touch myself. I mean, you know what I mean? But I'm like, I feel like my head would look okay in that regard, Who knows? One day I'll shave it all off and everybody like, God, you got this kind of masculine Statham look. You should have done that a long time ago. Right? Who knows? Well, I don't really care. I don't really, at this point, let's see.
It's not Irish. It's not English.
How are you? Fair, what is my contest with the horses,
It's just pikey.
Right. It's just pikey. So, yeah, there you go. No going bald? No, you don't think so? All right. I was bald this year, not pretty. Well, sometimes it works. Some people can do it, man. Some people can pull it off. That's the thing. Point to point. I like this Hal look too. I'm proud of this or whatever, but we'll leave that for conversation for another time, and I will let you guys go. Again, if I can, we've talked about paragraph 3 in every story. When you see a headline, check out paragraph 3 or 5 or 7 if they really cut it small. If 3 is really by showing you half a video or something that starts in the middle. And you're like, I don't know if I'm getting the whole story here, but I've heard this is a problem, so therefore this must be an instance of that problem happening again. Rage. I love Rex Chapman, but he does this a lot. And the other one is the fish hooks that some people on your own side will use in certain stories, in certain circumstances, around certain bills and other things, to weaponize your empathy, to get you, to drag you. If you don't care about this the way I care about this, you don't care about anything, or you don't care about the greater thought, the greater underlying philosophy. It's not true. It's cruel to do that to your friends. It's wrong to do it to your enemies. I'm being drowned out. Too loud? Is it too loud? Should I bring it down a little bit? I'm not. It's too loud? How about that? Is that a little more of a layer? Is that better? There we go. So, anytime you're scrolling through your feed, in social media especially, you are going to see a lot of messages from people you respect and care about, who are upset about something. Too low? All right, we'll bring it back up. We'll mix it. Try to keep it even. Here we go. A little something around. That in the process of, them trying to show you what they care about, switches into they're insisting on not only that you care about it, but that you believe their solution to that particular problem, which you both agree is a problem, that their solution is the only one, that their reaction is the only way that you can show fealty to that cause. And I would argue that this is indeed how the concept of the heretic is born. People of a religion who believe in the same God, who believe in the same path, and anybody who doesn't, who eventually goes, I don't know, maybe sometimes now that we've moved north, we can eat pork because we've figured out trichinosis is wrong. That person becomes a heretic and deserves to die, even though they shared everything you believe. Still do, in any meaningful sense. And yet they need to be wiped out. Be careful and catch yourself if you ever find yourself yelling heretic at people. That would be the other thing. I'll leave it at that. And you guys are wonderful, and I will see you this afternoon. Much love. Thank you.
All I'm offering is the truth.
I'm just a happy camper.
I think you're some kind of deviated prevert.
He's you real nice. If I didn't have puke breath, I'd kiss you. Call me Snake.
strange happened to me this morning.
Was it a dream where you see yourself standing in sort of sun god robes on a pyramid with 1,000 naked women screaming and throwing little pickles at you?
No.
Why am I the only person that has that dream?
Pony soldier.
We need you. Hell, I need you. I'm a mess without you. I miss you so damn much. I miss being with you. I miss being near you. I miss your laugh. I miss your scent. I miss your musk. When this all gets sorted out, I think you and me should get an apartment together. Am I getting fruity?